I scream, you scream, you all scream for ice cream. I scream, you scream, you all scream for ice cream. I scream, you scream, you all scream for ice cream.
We have come to the end of our discussion of oral literature genres. And in this video, we look at the last two genres, jokes and puns. A joke is a funny statement, situation, or story that is designed to make people laugh. A joke, for it to be effective, has to have two parts. The first part of a joke is called the setup. This is where the audience is introduced to the context of the story or situation. This is done in order to prepare the audience for the ambiguity or the unforeseen circumstance that is going to be given at the end. In short, the setup prepares us for the second part of the joke. The second part is called the punchline. The punchline is a part of the joke that ties everything together and now brings the ambiguity or brings the situation that they didn't expect, where we now draw the humor from. Most jokes are short. Some of them are actually just two sentences. So in a situation where we have a joke that is made up of two sentences, the first sentence is always the setup and the second sentence is the punchline. For example, a joke that says something like this: what did the spider do on the internet? He made a website. Those are two sentences. The first part that talks about what did the spider do on the internet introduces us to the spider and the internet, paints a picture. Then the second part that says that he built a website now ties the website to the web of the spider and also ties it to the internet, makes it funny. So the first part is the setup and the second part is the punchline.
Mchongo jokes. For example, uko na kichwa kubwa hadi ukiingia daro mwalimu anasema no group work.
Jokes can be seen to have two features. Number one, they're supposed to be humorous, that is the feature. And number two, there's some ambiguity that is introduced. This ambiguity is what makes these jokes funny because it makes us tie things together.
So Charles' truck got stolen in Kisumu, and one of the thieves is overheard bragging about the carjacking, saying, "Omera ni cyber truck." You know what I mean? Ni cyber truck.
Let us now look at the functions of jokes. Traditionally, and in the present times, jokes are used for entertainment. So jokes are supposed to offer us a period where we forget about everything in the world and we just have some time that we enjoy ourselves. So the first function of jokes is to provide entertainment. Because jokes are supposed to be told to an audience, jokes also give us a tool for socialization. It brings people together to enjoy themselves. So it's one thing that brings us together and fosters socialization. Jokes can also be used to provide comic relief where there is a lot of tension. Maybe it is a play or a song and then someone throws in a joke there. We can release the tension that we had and we can laugh. So it can be used to provide comic relief. Jokes also create an avenue where young people can be creative, because as we tell jokes and we make others laugh, we become more creative. We look at the environment around us and we try to draw from it to create contexts and to create new jokes as we go on with our lives. These jokes can also be precursors to longer forms of oral literature. An example, in the Luo community, we have a situation where when we had these nyatiti songs, before the song actually begins, before the singer starts to sing, the song begins with the nyatiti player playing the nyatiti, but also he cracks a joke or two. Like the famous one that is always cracked in most of these songs is where they say that a torn underwear is always removed together with the trouser. When it is said in the mother tongue and all those pictures are painted, then it's very funny. It is used at the beginning of songs to make people laugh and to prepare for something that is magical. Let us now talk about puns. A pun is a humorous and clever wordplay that uses words with the same pronunciations but different meanings. This is done in order to make the audience make the connection between these two different words that are pronounced the same way. And by creating that kind of connection, we find humor in it. For example, someone can just say something like, "Why can't a bicycle stand on its own?" And someone will say, "Oh, it's because it is too tired." Now you see, the too tired part has two different meanings. It can mean that the bicycle has two tires, or it is exhausted. That is why it can't stand on its own. Either way, the two meanings will still make sense, but we find the joke, the humor there, because we are trying to say, oh, our bicycle is too tired, or it is going to be having difficulties in standing on its own. So that kind of thing. Wordplay, where we have different words pronounced the same way, different meanings, but they come together to form this kind of humor. That is what we call a pun. So as features go, puns have two main features, just like jokes. They are humorous, so they're supposed to elicit laughter most of the time, especially when this pun is intended. And number two, puns are supposed to bring some ambiguity because of these different types of meanings. That is why now we try to make the connection between the different words. So ambiguity and humor are two very important features of puns.
Ice cream, you scream, you all scream for ice cream. Ice cream, you scream, you all scream for ice cream. Ice cream, you scream, you all scream for ice cream.
Puns are used for many reasons. So let's look at the uses of puns. Puns, first and foremost, are used for entertainment, because as someone says these sentences, we find humor in them, and then of course they make us relax and help us to pass time. So this is a very important usage of puns.
From Swahili community we have papa aliomba kabla ya kukula papa. Papa the Pope and Papa the Fish. Mama aliota mtoto ameota meno. Ota to germinate, ota to dream. And lastly, mkulima alipanga panga baada ya kulima. Panga to arrange and panga the farming tool. From Luo community we have Kiki chiel rech but chiel. Chiel the fence, chiel to fry.
Puns are also used to foster critical and creative thinking, but also we can say that puns make us think quickly. So that when I say, how do you call a singing laptop? And you say, a singing laptop is Adele. So someone listening to this will have to make the connection between Adele, Dell, the brand of laptops or computers, and also Adele, the singer. So this makes you think very quickly and also helps us to be creative.
Wachina wale waliitengeneza barabara barabara.
Puns can also be used to create sarcasm. If you want to talk about a situation in a way that is not too obvious, then you can use a pun, and of course someone listening is going to make the connection between what you're saying and the situation at hand. Puns, because they use homophones, also help especially young people to make them aware of homophones in the language. So when a Luo says chieu 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 chege chege chung trako chai chai chek cheng chiro, that is a tongue twister for ch 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 ch, but it begins by saying chieu 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 chege. That one talks about chieu of waking up and chieu of the porcupine. And now you have the homophones, you know that waking up and the name for the porcupine in the Luo community has the same pronunciation. And as a young person, you get to learn these homophones very early on. So as you've seen, puns and jokes bring some humor into our lives, and therefore they make our lives to be more bearable. And when that happens, we become better adjusted to our environments and we appreciate life more. In the next video, which is going to be the last video of this series, I'm going to tie everything we've discussed on oral literature so that we can call it a day.
Mbuni yule alipita kando ya mbuni.